Hello, and welcome back to Therapist Plays Disco Elysium. This episode may be the most tense that I have felt this entire playthrough. Part of that is just the build up to finally going to look for Ruby, who I do find finally after almost a year, more than a year at this point actually. But I could not have predicted the kind of situation that this would put us in and what kinds of skills that I would need to get us through it. I'll let the rest of the episode speak for itself, but this one took us to some interesting places, so I hope you enjoy. Hello, and welcome back. Okay. I know that I have complained a lot in recent episodes about how long this whole journey has taken. But now we are truly near the end of it. It's time to go looking for Ruby. We've done all of the major side quests available to us with a couple of loose threads here and there. And although I've complained a lot about how long this has taken, it's going to be hard to say goodbye. You know, and I'm someone who has kind of mixed feelings about saying goodbye to things. I've moved around a lot in my life, like every 7 years, actually, thereabouts. I moved to a completely different place. That's just how it's happened. And so I've said goodbye to a lot of people and places and things, and had to do a lot of self-reinvention over the years. And in one sense, that's made it possible for me to accept that things don't last. Relationships, friendships, even if you keep friendships, they transform when you go away and mature and get older. And so I've said goodbye a lot. It's made me resilient to that. But I also don't know what it feels like to have things for a very long time. I don't have like childhood friend who I'm still in contact with. You know, the people I'm closest with I met in the last couple of years, basically. And so when anything that I have spent a lot of time on, like, it's not normal for me to play a game this long. I don't know what it's like to have this kind of attachment that's like still ongoing, and then to still say goodbye to it, like knowing that it has a finite ending. You know, the thing I guess I can relate to that is like the therapeutic process. You go into therapy and it's expected that this ends at some point. You don't know exactly when. You could technically keep going forever, just keep working on stuff, keep refining things. But at some point you circle back and you find that it's just time. You know, the person may still have things to work on, but I get to a point where I trust that they have the skills to do it on their own going forward. And they sort of need to spread their wings. And that's kind of how I feel about this game. I am going to be sad to see it go, but I also don't know what it's like to not be playing it anymore. So we will be going into the ending now, bitterly and sweetly, with some excitement. I am excited to move on, but I'm also like kind of hesitant. And maybe that's why I've kept it going for so long. So there's a lot of emotion wrapped up in this game for me. And I don't know what it's like to be here. I just don't know what it's like. But it must be done. So we're looking for Ruby. There was a mural that we found that we think is important. Now, I seem to remember it being up in this way, but let's check out this first. There's a slit in the concrete here, a sewer. It's very perceptive of you, Harry. You know, I imagine this playthrough would have gone very differently if perception was like a thing for my guy earlier on. But suddenly we're seeing all kinds of stuff. Look at it, it's just seeing things everywhere.
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40
I love that it's not even just perception of like things, like, oh, there's a sewer there, but it's like we can detect the history of it. It must actually be a good detective under all of this amnesia and alcoholism. Let's take a peek inside.
Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase.
Lieutenant, can you make out what's inside? Get a point.
No. I won't even try.
He takes his glasses off.
I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad.
This partner of his Eyes. Things didn't end well. It saddens him to say his name. Don't even ask. He wouldn't answer. Maybe some other small
Ooh, and a perception of a very different kind. A perception I'm personally much better at, and my Harry as well. Perception of feelings and emotion. Empathy cuts in here not just to show us something observable about Kim, but like empathy tells us a history of its own too. Like this relationship. Clearly, it means more to Kim than just a professional one, right? He does seem to have an attachment to us as well. I would imagine my Harry, who has, despite seeing a lot of like progress in our connection to Kim and had plenty of opportunities to freak out about the security of it and sort of see that, he's not going to abandon us. It's kind of been a theme of our character. There's still a space I think he holds for doubting that. And hearing something like this, I can imagine him saying like, what am I to Kim in this space? Like, do I do something for Kim that's essential? Is it even appropriate to wonder about that, right? We don't want Kim to have like some deficiency that makes us necessary to be around, but that's kind of how insecurity can ask us to be. Like, making it seem like my only relevance to him is if I am like filling in some sort of space he can't on his own. Would he be better off alone? Does he rely on me the way I rely on him? It can't just be a question of he just wants to be with me. He just wants to be around me. He just likes having me in his party. I don't think that we're quite there yet. All in all, this whole playthrough has only been a couple of days in real time, but it is something we probably wonder about. What do we offer for Kim? Can you still shoot, though?
Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I passed my shooting courses.
I disagree with that, Kim. I'm pretty sure you're the one who shot down the body at the very beginning of the game. It's pretty sharp shooting, if you ask me. Okay. I believe this is the mural. Oh, I got another. There's just things everywhere. Another power box. It charges nothing now. It's empty. Okay.
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R and...
Okay, we already asked, could Ruby be in there?
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there. Or in that boat shack. In that church.
Maybe it's my powers of speculation that Kim needs some help with. Because look at this. Impossible shivers. Listen to the wind. We found the empty trap. This is like everything we've done. Found the empty trap. We heard Lena's true story. We went on a date. We reconstructed the execution. We made that awful call. I love that these are part of what informs us of... Now we know that Shivers is like the voice of the city in a sense. That our personal experiences have also been a part of like our environment, of understanding our environment, which is like kind of my ongoing theory about the pale being this like entropic form of empathy. Like the better people are to one another, the more likely the world is to stay intact. The worse people are to each other, the more it degrades. And we've not always been successful in all of these endeavors, but we have tried, at least, to make the right choice with the information we had at the time, right? And I think that's what's beautiful about empathy, is it doesn't always necessarily mean you have to get something right. It just means you tried to do something good for another person. When we made the awful call, we realized that there is nothing good we can do for this person except leave them be, though. We confronted the pigs. We established the nightclub. It was very important. We discovered the anomaly. We gave the death notification, and we found the jacket. So, this is it. Let's listen to the wind.
Even though you're sure you succeeded, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead. No rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb.
What was I attempting to do here?
Trying to talk to the wind, the city, whatever you thought would happen, did not. And now you're just standing there in the dusk hour with your hands fallen to your side. A prayer of sorts to Revachol.
Kim, she could be anywhere. How do we find her?
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the journey.
I told you it was relevant, Kim. It's all been a part of the case.
And then
Yes?
the church. We've already searched that and ruled it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is the
What do you mean? Okay, that is actually infuriating. And I know it doesn't feel like progress. No, it all has felt like progress. I have been saying this entire time that these detours are the main plot, the main story. They are filling in the blanks. They are helping us get a lay of the land and the people who live in it. The fact that he thinks he's coming to this conclusion right now, oh, exclusion is a step two. I have been saying this. This has been me the entire time. I have not been able to say that to Kim necessarily through Harry here, but I have been fucking thinking it and saying it. Well, Kim, you know what? That's great insight. This is a little bit how it feels like to be a therapist sometimes too. You're trying to angle someone towards an idea for session after session, weeks, months, and sometimes you clock it right away. You're like, oh, you're in a bad relationship. This is probably not going to go where it needs to. I don't offer that information up front because I, as all therapists do and should, respect your right to self-determination. It means you make your own choices and you come to your own conclusions. Now, I may ask questions that angle you in the direction of that, like, where do you see this relationship going? In the last couple of weeks, how have you felt being with this person? All kinds of stuff it's designed to help them explore that, right? And that's because my opinion doesn't really matter. I might think it's a bad relationship, but if I'm asking those questions and they're saying, I felt great, you know, I have issues with them, but we're working them out, then okay, that's totally fine. That's why you don't come in and say, yeah, but I think your relationship's bad for you, because then it becomes argumentative. I really cherish self-discovery in the therapeutic process. I think it is a complete waste of time for me to interpret your life and give you answers that I think are be appropriate, because it's not my life, it's your life, right? I can just be a helpful guide. So self-discovery, very important. But there are those times where it's like, I've been suggesting this for a long time. I've been angling you towards this. And I'm so glad that you've come to that conclusion. All on your own, without any help. Good job, Kim. Good job. And you know what? My positive reframing of this is just, I'm just glad we're on the same page now. I don't have to be upset that I have literally been saying this the entire time while you have just done nothing but complain. You've complained about the church side quest and the Col de Mamadaqua detour and all of these very fun, very worthwhile adventures. Some that I even had to take alone without you because I just knew that you would be such a negative Nancy about them. It's all in the past now. I'm just glad that you're on board and that you see that this has been all relevant.
Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first.
No, we already did all of that. What if that fails?
Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, displays. I'm sure it won't come to that.
He looks behind him at the dark red box crumbling across the chasm.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the windswept.
I have...
Buckle up and raise your collar. This search is going to...
No, I have scoured the coast. I have been everywhere. I have done everything. What else am I missing? What about that sewer I just saw? Like, isn't there something underneath all of this? that I can inspect? Come on, perception. I need you most of all right now. What if I... Oh, you know what? I know it's missing. Yeah! That's really been missing this entire time. I know it doesn't actually help as a stat boost, but it certainly helps with my getting into character. Okay, we're going up the coast again. This is well-traveled territory for me now. But there's all kinds of shit that I missed, like this glowing yellow rock, which just has money in it. Okay. What about this? The building before you housed the engine. This must have been a big one. I don't think we can get in here. Yeah.
Old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see...
Could this have been used to take the shot?
From here to the wiling, I can't see how. The church is...
There's no way we're passing that. I'm not even going to try. Or should I? Should I just try it anyways? There's no way it gets past.
An old door, worn by elements. You rattle the handle a bit, then push on the door with all your weight. It does not budge. Not only is it locked, it's also jammed shut.
How can we get in?
What
What do you mean we don't get into it? We get into, like, everywhere.
Frankly, you're just going to have to accept the fact that you can't get in through every single door.
But it's worked so far.
No. We've gotten into every door thus far. That's what we do.
That's right.
Open doors. We're cops. That's our perk. Even Everard knew that's a part
I'm not going to accept this. The door could be part of the investigation.
Relax. No one's hiding in there. If we can't open it, others can't either. And thus they can't get in.
Okay. I guess I'll have to practice the cold, sobering reality of acceptance here. Cigarette butts cleaned away under a rock. You take a mental note. Tiamutiri. Seems important somehow. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing up here. We've been up here. I have done everything possible in the region. At least it feels that way. Oh, right. I forgot I was going to do this. Okay, we're going to do this one. And let's do this one. Okay. And we still have got a skill point for opening up a white check or something. How can I get up there?
The once bright mural towers above. Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecule.
Trying this again.
Moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you in her breath, flowing through.
Where does it go?
In through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below.
Yes.
Its winding tunnels.
Below the boardwalk. What is happening?
She's down there.
It immediately gave me shivers again. I think she's down there, below this building.
Okay. Why?
The wind told me.
So, how do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building.
I can't believe he's not even surprised by that. I didn't even question or challenge it.
Finally, my time to shine.
I think Kim has just accepted us in this moment. maybe that's what we are to him. Instead of eyes, we're his ears. Maybe Kim can start calling me ears. Because I can listen to the city. I can listen to the wind. Can we go to the ladder?
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
There has to be a way to use brute force. Climbing sounds unsafe. Brute force is safe. Look around and find something to break if the ladder fails.
Oh, there's a storm drain.
A rusty
try ladder
ladder
first.
leads to the rooftop. Some of the rungs are missing.
Doesn't look safe.
Yeah, that doesn't...
I'm gonna give this situation an assessment.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You'd have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem corroded and the peeling rust is razor
Well,
sharp.
I also can't climb it with my hands full.
In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground? And you're 180.
180 seems about right.
Not to mention that the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to not climb the ladder. Instead, what if you were to do something more
Like?
subtle? Astral projection. Be open-minded.
Okay. What if I don't climb? What if I just teleport?
Teleportation is not a thing.
Oh, but you were totally cool a second ago with me saying the wind told me she's in here. Come on, Kim. Where's your adventurous spirit?
This really has nothing to do with
It won't hurt to try.
Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
He is restraining himself from using
Wait,
parental tone.
what?
Now,
I have an 83% chance of actually... Oh, I saw Tiago climbing. There's just no way.
all you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench and the first rung of the ladder. All you need to...
Do it!
Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle. It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear, your atoms fading out of existence.
There's no way.
Okay, well, that's impressive, but
Bam! You find yourself
What?
on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
Don't gloat. Just stand there like a samurai master. No, I don't think Harry can do that. I don't think he has it in him. Everything we've done since basically the beginning of the game has been about impressing Kim. And this is our chance. This is our moment. This is the thing. Fuck all the other stuff I said. I'm not ears to Kim. I'm not his wind translator. I'm the teleportation master.
I just saw you climb the ladder. You just climbed it like a regular...
Bullshit.
The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice. Faintly, you
It so is like a Calvin and Hobbes relationship. Calvin had all these like little worlds and devices. Like he had the transmogrifying device, and when he's like a space cadet, I forget the name of it, and it translated into the storyline. Like his imagination would go to certain places, and Hobbes would often go along with it. Hobbes was usually there to facilitate Calvin's fun, not at the expense of him getting hurt or getting in trouble, let's say. But he would never try to like interrupt his fun, but he would often come with some sort of like, he had an easier time breaking from the reality, basically. Like then it would transition back into, they're really just playing with a cardboard box. And you get the sense that Calvin really was there. Like in his mind, he really imagined this stuff. But Hobbes always knew that there was like some translation of reality into fiction. I mean, he himself is potentially, I guess we don't know, just a part of Calvin's imagination. You can't tell me that this is not the perfect analogy for these two. Like this is such a Calvin and Hobbes moment.
Never mind. Find a way to let me in.
It's totally what Hobbes would say.
Don't go adventuring with a backup, especially if we think the suspect may be hiding here.
Well, I am adventuring now. Maybe Kim can start calling me like Hops, because I've got crazy vertical growth. The central support beam has been destroyed by artillery fire. Okay, let's check out the stairs. This is incredible. I can't believe this. Okay. I'm kind of scared here, though. Glass is covered with grime and dust. You can barely see how. This is a moment, though, where I do wish I had Kim with me. Because I am not a sharpshooter. In fact, do I even have... I do have the gun. Yeah. Maybe I should actually hang on to this instead of the Kvalson just this once.
Holding the gun feels natural and satisfying. It's like an extension of your arm, the polished wooden handle almost fusing into your...
I think my hand right... Is this the first time I put the gun in my hand?
It reminds you of the day you first held it, with fear and respect, hoping you don't have to use it in vain. The sun was out in Jamrock. It was so long ago. Sheathe your sidearm, officer. A serious law official, cop by the book, should know to only unholster their service weapon when using it as...
But I don't have Kim with me. I'm hanging on to it. I'm a different kind of cop than I used to be. Antiquated office furniture. Oh, this is... This is a very different vibe than the coast. What do we got down here? A series of thick, dusty panes of glass.
This isn't just glass. These are old computation components. Yes, filament memories. From the time when wires were cast in glass, slides with an inlaid...
How'd they do that,
system.
and why?
The how was a closely guarded secret. Something that was locked in safes in human heads across the river where they were manufactured. As to why, your fingers don't know.
What do we got here? Suit jacket. Suggestive. Okay. Hang on to that. It's this way. Oh, there's Kim. Can I get him in?
Two rusty metal plates that slide apart form a crude door. It's been here under the boardwalk.
Who's there?
It's me, Kim. Stop playing around and help me get the door open.
Yeah, Kim, we're in a dusty basement after I just fucking somersaulted onto the top of a roof. You learn to have some fun.
The doors seem to be on rails, but they've gotten jammed. You grab a side and put some strength into prying it open. With the help of your partner, the two metal panels slide open with a creak.
Huh. I hope no one...
How did you even get there?
After you climbed up to the roof, you mean? There's a maintenance entrance under the boardwalk. It's next to a drain pipe, possibly a storm drain. It was easy to miss before.
So you just went under.
He's quite proud of himself.
So I didn't need to teleport, I guess. So pedestrian. Yeah, there was a much cooler way to enter the building, I have to say.
Yes. It's cool to risk your life climbing rickety ladders. Anyway, let's investigate this.
It is cool, Kim. It's my adventurous spirit. Okay, now we're investigating for real. Oh, the flashlight actually revealed the crevice in the wall. Look at that. What is this? Is that a picture of...
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. The plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spider web in the lower left corner of the portrait.
Let's get the dust off there first.
Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly. Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand, grains sticking to the frayed skin of the fingertips. An old man sits on a slab of concrete and taps his fingers against the glass of a scope. You shudder.
Look, Kim, it's Comrade Mazov. This kind of seems like someone also preparing for some sort of sniper shot, maybe. Look, Kim, it's Comrade Mazov.
Yes, I can see that. Looks like some communists were hiding out here. They left a long time ago.
The lieutenant does not seem to share your enthusiasm.
Maybe I should move in here. Could it be connected to the Mazov bust we found in the students' room? How long ago?
Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been...
What's with all these secret weapon caches and secret bunkers?
We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, even the stuff above ground isn't the best taken care of.
Good hiding place for someone who's...
That's right. Is this where Ruby's been staying? Should I move in here?
I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through.
Okay. Could it be connected to the bust?
Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. The youths always go for this kind of stuff.
Let's see if someone has stopped through here recently.
You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
He looks at the dust. Yeah, that's probably true. It's too dusty. Ancient flyers. Oh, there it is. That's the sewer drain.
Could this have been the killer's hideout? And this narrow window, the point of origin of the shot that killed the mercenary?
No.
This does look like an embrasure.
There's no... My visual calculus is literally 0. Like, I just assume whatever it says is completely wrong. And my hand-eye coordination is not really much better.
You hear the rain's susurration across the seawater. The night shudders.
How would a sniper from a sewer drain that is like not even eye level with the church and also in the way shoot all the way across to like the rooftop through the window of the world? So stupid. All right, we deserve whatever Kim is going to say here. I just love... No idea is like too precious for Harry not to say it though, which I love about him. Could the killer have used this as a hideout?
It's a great place to hide, and Mazovianism and murder are certainly not mutually exclusive. But that hasn't been new here.
Kim, I can't see the whirling in rags. The shot didn't come from here. Yeah, no shit.
Indeed. No one could get a clear view. Well, at least we've been thorough. I like thorough.
The lieutenant's voice betrays a slight disappointment, which he glosses over by reasserting control.
In fact, I think we're done with this bunker. After
What? I was for sure that Ruby would be down here. What is this? A hat. Oh, it's a Mazovian hat. Okay, that's cool. It's pretty cool. What does this give us? Oh, it it just makes our visual calculus worse. Oh, but it does make us more of a communard, which is pretty cool.
This hat is so soft, so warm. It wraps around your head, and your mind tingles with all manner of socio-economic theory.
This is an Ushanka, right?
Kraz Mazov would have worn this Ushanka.
Ushanka.
Mazov knew where to cook those thoughts. That's why it bears a Mazovian logo. Glory to the revolution, comrade. Whether you like it or not, wearing this hat has made you more communist.
I guess it's part of my costume, because I think my Harry really is just cosplaying as a communist more so than actually understands what that is. Which is similar to me. One of the souls appear more. Okay. So someone has been through here, though. Maybe an escape route? Can't go that way. I'm perceiving so many things. It's crazy. Sound. Oh, what's this?
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost
Which
smell.
one do you feel? Something? Is it anxiety?
No. What do you mean?
Pain, a strange tingling.
I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure
You
they
don't
were
feel
fresh.
anything?
No, but you are the sensitive one.
It's not a quib. The situation is
It is
dangerous.
anxiety.
He trusts your gut feeling on this.
Sick. I saw them too. Footprints. With the right sole worn smooth.
Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our next
do you
step
mean?
carefully. Once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do? We'll set in motion events we have no control over.
Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
Okay, this is time to review the case. We know Everart's true intentions and his plan for Martinez. What more is there to do with the Union?
I don't know. Little things. But you're right. We've gotten everything we can from the Union. We even opened that container.
You've been very, very thorough there. Your fingers are...
Perhaps more thorough than we might have thought was possible. We solved the strike deadlock by telling Joyce about the Union's plans. We really have accomplished quite a bit.
I still don't think that was a good idea. But yes, our affairs with the Wild Pines are in order, since she isn't in Martinez anymore.
Someone's been a very busy boy. Good
How
on
bad do you think things could get?
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground.
He smiles in the dark.
Let's try not to worry, he thinks. If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
What? That is such a good line. That is such a good line to say to people who have anxiety. If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done. In one sentence, that's just like the perfect way to console someone who is thinking like in the, what could I have done? What should I have done? How would things be different if I did this? Like, this game never fails to impress me with how concise and poignant its commentary on this kind of thing is. It's interesting that this comes from Logic, though, which is actually very therapeutic oriented. Okay, check this out. So not only is that just like a super impressively well-written line, but like it's actually so therapeutic. So this is a common model for dealing with like anxious thoughts or also negative thinking. Doesn't have to be anxious. It's about changing moods. This is cognitive behavioral therapy sort of thing, which we've talked about quite a bit of in relation to the skills. But you basically notice when you're not feeling super great about something, and you go through the sequence of like, what was the activating event or situation? So we could use this to actually apply to like our insecurity about our relationship with Kim that we've kind of gone over a couple of times. So like activating event, Kim did not seem to miss being around me when I saw him a day later, right? And that's the activating event. It triggers an unwanted response. I start to feel insecure, right? As Harry. Do you remember I did this episode where I was like, why doesn't he miss me? What beliefs start to come out of this? The thoughts that we believe about the activating event. Oh, he doesn't need me as much as I need him. I'm not important to him. I'm not important to anyone. He doesn't need me for this case. I'm not even a good cop anyways. Like all the insecure, negative, automatic thoughts that come up about this, right? The activating event and the beliefs about it. And then you look at what are the consequences of like staying in that belief system? Well, the consequences are I continue to feel insecure. I seek his validation constantly, which annoys him. I overcompensate by trying to do something cool, like flip onto the top of the roof. I stay in distortions. I feel bad. I get jealous when Kim shows interest in someone else. Like, those are all the consequences, right? And so this is often the chain of events that plays out for our like anxious thinking, because we usually stop here, right? So like another example, activating event, my boss sent me a message saying that they want me to do something. Beliefs. I'm in trouble. They think I'm not competent. They feel like they have to micromanage me. I'm not wanted here. Like all kinds of stuff. And what are the consequences of this? Like, again, usually overcompensation or avoidance, right? Of avoiding tasks because of the beliefs we hold. Like, I'll just call out of work tomorrow, right? Like, you can see how this is a very simple way to understand how we get to points of anxiety, insecurity, avoidance, all of these things. And that's if you just stop there, if you let the consequences play out. What we often do is we see that our relationships get worse, we become less effective in our lives, we learn the wrong coping skills, which are to avoid things, deny them, or practice like unhelpful self-soothing, like tell me I'm good, you know, seeking praise, attention seeking. So what you try to do is you try to dispute the belief, right? Challenge the beliefs and thoughts that we have at B. Are they rational? That's why this is logic coming in here, because logic is like the voice of reason, and rationale is actually the thing that you want when disputing a negative automatic thought, right? Like, Kim doesn't really want to be around me. He doesn't need me. My boss is mad at me, right? You go through this challenging phase where you say like, okay, is there anything else that I've done recently that I should believe that my boss is mad at me? Actually, when I think about the last in-person interaction I had with them, I didn't notice any like sternness in their voice. In fact, they were telling me that they appreciate how much they can trust the quality of my work. And I often get the vibe that they feel like I'm responsible. Perhaps why they're coming to me with this request is not because, they want to catch me doing something wrong or want to prove I'm working, but because they actually think that I'm capable of it. Like, you just rationalize, how realistic is this thought? How realistic is it, the thought that Kim doesn't need me? No one needs me. I'm actually a bad cop. Well, all I have to do is look at my record here. I have all kinds of evidence. You go through this process of examining the evidence and disputing the belief to say, I've solved 216 cases. I've been a cop for 18 years. There's been so many situations that I've been able to get through, all of these completed cases, and positive feedback that I've gotten about what I've done. Now, the reason that you go at this with rationale is not to dispute a negative thought and replace it with a positive one. Your goal is to not go from, I'm actually a bad cop, to I'm the best cop in the world. It's just to come to a more realistic one that says, oh, I'm not always a bad cop. I'm, on the whole, a pretty good cop who is capable of making mistakes, right? So you're disputing the original idea here and then exchanging it for new, rational, balanced ones, not overcorrected, like, I'm a bad person, into like, everyone loves me and I'm, fucking amazing. It's just like, no, the beliefs that I hold, my initial beliefs about things that cause anxiety and distress, are usually just overcorrections in a negative way, right? They're anxious thoughts. They're not really that rational. And that's an important skill, to be able to develop your rational thought, as opposed to your emotional reasoning, which is something that like empathy is great for. So we would move out of CBT into DBT, right? Dialectics, which is taking a look at rational thinking and emotional thinking and deciding that they are different tools for different jobs. But checking your distorted thinking is a logical task. This is the perfect representation of the process of cognitive behavioral therapy in a single fucking sentence, which is basically, if you can't predict what was going to happen, then there wasn't anything that you could have done. If you didn't know what was coming ahead, how could you have known to make the right choice? If you look at times where you were right, it was based on just guessing anyways, right? So I love this. I love this so much. This is a way of like Harry sort of easing himself from getting into that belief system that's like what we're seeing here. Activating event. We're in a scary situation. The belief, I could have done more. I'm always behind. Kim would have been better off with a better partner, right? Like those kinds of beliefs. What are the consequences? I hesitate. I get analysis paralysis. I withdraw from him, right? Or something like that. Or I just feel bad. We dispute those. If I couldn't predict it, there's nothing I could have done. I exchange it with, what can I do about the situation I'm in right now? Fucking brilliant. This might be my favorite line in the game, just for how succinct and good it is at demonstrating that process. What do you think is waiting for us there?
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise.
He's speaking in a hushed tone now.
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning.
Okay, so this is really a point of no return. Give it a quick save. Yeah, look, I know there's probably some stuff I could have done still, but like I said, I'm not going for a completionist run. I am satisfied with the amount of story I have gotten so far, and I am ready to see the conclusion.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a
What is happening
voice. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse.
She says, Ruby the Instigator.
Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But
I think it's safe to say we did not surprise her.
The voice coming through the whirlwind of pain is not malicious. She doesn't want to hurt you, but
She doesn't know us yet.
doesn't wish to hurt you, not according to your ear canals. Wait, no, not even your ear canals. This is going directly into your neural pathways.
Well, we're already covering our ears.
No, buddy, that's not
Shit!
gonna help. You can't shield yourself from this. It's an entirely new.
What is
type
this
of
machine?
experience. Wade, don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's honest.
Help, Kim! My brain's on fire! Lieutenant clutches his head as his eyes roll back into his skull.
I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been
Where the fuck did this come from?
The explosion of static you're hearing is the ULAN frequency, blasted from that pale emitter that Angus
Oh. Fat Angus said you had a pale emitter.
That boy's really gotta learn to keep his trap shut. And it's not a bloody pale emitter. It doesn't...
I don't know, it seems kind of like an emitter of pale to me.
You should probably check on Kim. It doesn't sound like he's doing all too
Kim, how are you doing?
Right behind you, officer.
Eyes closed. Lieutenant is doubled over. He is still alive and breathing. Yeah, thank fucking Christ.
A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, People lose their minds in just a few years.
Sounds like she knew someone who used to man one of those stations. But she won't tell you about her. Boy, you're one empathetic police officer to have guessed.
I love that we're still relying on this at this exact moment to fill in the blanks.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio
He gestures towards something with great effort. Oh, he's going for his pistol!
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
She's been holed up in here for a while with no one to talk to. Keep her talking, and you just might get an opportunity to...
Okay, keep her talking. I can do that. That is my specialty. Yeah, it sounds... Because she's saying you might be hearing this, I'm curious if she has experienced this herself.
Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you...
And how did you get your hands on this thing?
I built it myself.
What?
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented, but we are beyond that.
You're goddamn right, Kim.
Oh yeah, way beyond.
She studies her death ray and the law officials trapped in it. Will I stay like this forever?
No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. It's a bit like waking out of a very confusing dream.
Okay, I have a theory about this. It's like an anti-shivers machine. Like, if shivers is our connection to the city, and it usually gives us a glimpse into, like, some kind of experience, like a man sits on a stone and gestures at a glass and contemplates something like vague, like that kind of stuff. This is bringing us like just a different angle on that. Maybe the human experiences that are like captured and transmitted, like I don't know if I'm getting like somewhat the sense that it has something to do with shivers, like something to do with shivers and pale, because it's a similar kind of thing, like vaguely intelligible, somewhat relatable experiences. But whereas shivers gives us a kind of insight and comfort, this gives us like an overwhelming anxiety. This is all great, but let's talk about the man who was killed.
Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not the cops, and of herself merely as a
Could you at least turn it down?
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
The lieutenant clutches his head, grimacing.
God damn it.
She regards you and Kim with sudden sympathy.
Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
She stops reluctantly out of the shadows. The pain lessens.
She's carrying a 2-barreled front loader.
Ooh.
Remain careful. Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. Just keep her talking, and you'll get through this.
Wait a second. Oh, I have a chance to destroy the machine. If I talk to her a little more, maybe I can get this bumped up a little bit. How did you know we were coming?
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for
By hiding bullets under the floorboards.
So you found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised.
Her tone is bitter. She thinks she's been betrayed.
She didn't rat you out, by the way, the washerwoman.
So nice. That's one knife I didn't want to find in my back.
You're desperate, aren't you?
I was, before I caught you in the pale latitude compressor. I'm fine now.
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit. It was dark in the shed. The waves outside had calmed down. She looked at the loaded gun. Then she cracked the barrel open and took the bullet out.
Did you shoot Lily?
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of...
Then who the fuck shot him?
Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first.
Oh. Okay, part of me is like wondering how to play this out. This could distract her by getting her angry. This could distract her by getting sad and thinking through things. This may earn some trust from her. This is tough. Okay, if I'm going for trying to destroy the machine, I don't know. If only I could secretly communicate with Kim in this moment. And what would Kim do? What would Kim do? Would Kim try to manipulate the situation by saying something like this? Would he try to make her second guess everything by making her believe that we got all of the information? Or would he try to play it cool and use his composure and charisma to charm her and maybe get her on her side? I think he would go with this. You're right, Klaasje was the first to share her suspicions. We're not confirming that she told us anything.
Oh, I knew the kitten had claws, but not like this.
It didn't help her. She was a fugitive. We took her in.
I'm sad to hear that. The girl was playing some dangerous games, but even with what she did to me, I wouldn't have wished that upon her. She had some pretty messed up people after her. She's going to come out of that meat grinder a different person. If she...
Yeah, I know. The YouTube comments have lit me the fuck up for months now about how awful it was to arrest Klaasje. I did not know at the time, because I was focused on other things in the conversation, that it would end in her demise. I didn't know what a station call was, so I chose arresting her because I legitimately thought it would keep her safe. But I'm married to that decision now.
But Klaasje couldn't have known I was here. How did you?
Titus told me. Your own boys told us you were on the coast. I mean, technically Titus did. What did she first guess? Who ratted me out? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first. Yeah, your first guess wasn't entirely off.
Titus and his boys, ma'am. They told us...
Look how respectful he's being, ma'am.
Even now, Kim is a paragon of professionalism. He is trying to make a clean cut.
Oh, wait, do I know my boy or what? I knew that I could think like Kim. I've spent fucking enough time with him.
Well, fuck. Those guys liked me, I know it. If this is what happens to people whom people like...
A dull despair is creeping.
Oh, but it is the plan. Being composed and professional. What we're communicating is that your own boys were the ones who betrayed you. Us, we're cops, okay? Cops! whatever biases you have, we're being truthful to you. We're not going to try to manipulate. We're not sticking a knife in your back. We're just trying to do the right thing.
How the fuck do the rest of you get by?
I do it by asking questions. And I have some from you. Wait, wasn't it you who called me the human can opener? It's not personal. I opened them up. Honestly, I don't know how I do it. Can you please exchange this? No, we want to project confidence here. Confidence and professionalism. That's what Kim would do.
I did, didn't I? Now you've come for me. Fuck that.
I'm trying to get her alignment closer to us than who she was with previously. And I think it's working.
That did make her forgive them a little.
I do it by asking questions.
Like what? I already told you I didn't do it.
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make...
And she can make a case. This is due process. Would you say that Lely was a likable person?
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types.
There's nothing more personal that you had against him? Perhaps his way with women?
You think I was envious of his conquests?
No.
Look, pussy's not a problem for me. And definitely not a reason to offer.
Oh, way with women, like his way of getting them. I was thinking, like, do you have something against him because he was aggressive with them or something? Like taking revenge?
See her confident gaze, her toned arms. Yeah, she wouldn't have had much trouble in the intimacy department.
Any sympathy from mercs?
Plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of body count. Besides, they're paid well for...
Did you feel protective of the Union?
Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here.
She didn't hate it.
Okay, so it wasn't personal. She helped stage the lynching, but she didn't shoot him? And who did? I have other questions. Do you have an alibi?
Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that on you.
There were 10 minutes they couldn't account for.
You mean the length of a toilet break? That wouldn't even have been enough time.
Our investigation has shown that 15 minutes was just enough time to commit the murder.
Wow. Now I'm curious. Please, explain.
There's a secret way from the first floor of the Whirling to the roof.
Don't know it, but also...
Evaluating your competence as a police officer.
In a good way?
The shot couldn't have come from the roof. Or we would have all...
Oh, in a bad way.
She has a point there. No one mentioned...
Yeah, okay, look. I'm not the best cop. As I am now, maybe in the past. But the human can opener, yes. That is my thing.
That didn't go super well. You've got to lace
Shit!
better.
Okay. You have a gun.
And...
Where did you get it? What gun store?
Store. Trigger Happy Jacks.
Really? Trigger?
What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sorry, I'm not that kind of...
Okay, we have to re-demonstrate our competence here. I see it's a front loader. Do you have another gun somewhere?
Sure don't.
A breech loader?
No.
This is...
Shit! I'm failing here. What kind of gun is it?
A knocked away 80 front loader. 2-barreled. Not really what you were looking for, I'm guessing.
No. There's other evidence. You liked
Yeah,
Klaasje
evidence.
a lot.
I considered her a good friend, yeah.
Do you want to be more than friends?
Oh, so that's where you
She
were
said
going.
you wanted to run away with her.
That's a very sentimental way of putting it. We both had pasts. We didn't want to catch up with us. and we enjoyed listening to music together. Why not?
I don't know what's true anymore.
The lieutenant watches her expectantly, occasionally shaking from the pain.
Okay, fine. I was into her. Klaasje was into me too for a time, I know it. We even fooled around once. And yeah, after that I thought maybe we could make a go of it.
Then what happened?
She rejected me with some wishy-washy bullshit about how she was confused because she felt so close to me and valued my friendship so much, and how guilty she felt for leaving me.
Okay.
I knew that wasn't the whole story, but thought, fine, I'll take it and move on.
No ill will there. It wasn't a problem for her.
So she really did move on. Klaasje said you got very angry when she started seeing Lely, threatened her.
Yeah, one time when we'd both been drinking, I said some heated things about how dangerous her patterns with men were. I was a little worried she'd blow it out of proportion in her head. All the drugs she was doing can make you feel like you're living in a DeLorean track.
And despite everything, you helped her by staging the lynching?
Yeah, the girl seemed terrified. The merc was beyond caring what happened to his mortal coil. It was a no-brainer. Go ahead. It's your body.
And mine too, he thinks. But keep on. This must...
Why do we have to do the investigation under these conditions? Do you like to hang out on rooftops?
Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Klaasje's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna.
Is that the only reason?
The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna was the main attraction there, yeah. Along with Klaasje.
What's so great about her antenna?
It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew to be prepared for your arrival.
She's been 10 steps ahead. So you're sure you didn't shoot the merc from the roof?
Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come...
You're running drugs for the Union. I've been through your lorry.
So, heart of gold over two.
Dude, what I've done to Tommy is so dirty. I made Tommy rat you out, and he felt so bad about it. He won't talk to us anymore.
That really comes as a blow to her.
I've already done Tommy so dirty. Do I continue to throw him under the bus for the roleplay? I guess I have to. Tommy doesn't deserve it. He so doesn't. I made him talk. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, that figures. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking?
She's more upset than she lets on.
You're a criminal. I can't trust anything you say.
That's your prerogative.
This isn't going well. You had a financial incentive to kill the merc.
Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jamrock, my previous employer, for the Union.
She deliberately avoided naming the mob she worked for. You might be...
Come on, we're close.
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used for self-defense against serious scum.
She turns the knob down just a millimeter.
There. It's going to be easier to reach the machine.
Oh, I'm close. But you're threatening us with it.
Based on what I've heard about you, you are serious scum.
I can't debate that fully.
There's a sinister note in her voice. Even with the gun and the compressor, she's afraid of...
Good. I need that leverage. Okay, let's take a step back.
Yeah? Where?
More questions before doing anything.
Okay. There's a chance. Who killed the merc if it wasn't you?
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip.
Was it Everard? Did Claire do it?
Those rings around her eyes, her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
Police radio? You've been
Great.
following the case?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Klaasje's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
Okay, what happened Sunday night?
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity. She's refusing to adopt the demeanor of a cornered animal, a leader with no one to lead. She still wants to retain some control of the situation.
It's okay. We just want...
Man, it's putting me in such pain to see Kim struggle like this.
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Klaasje comes in, all pale.
The thing is she cared about Klaasje. She didn't like seeing her be in danger. I think that Ruby doesn't like putting us in pain either. I think that we can reason our way through this, at least enough to turn off the machine.
She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her.
Does she seem high to you?
Oh yeah, super. But I didn't think too much of it at first. I'd seen her party hard before.
This woman has seen people OD. Klaasje wasn't quite there yet. So why...
Klaasje said you knew something was wrong immediately.
No, I really didn't. She's not
Yeah,
that
no
easy
shit.
to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her. But no such luck. She was in some deep shit. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she couldn't get the authorities involved, so yeah.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
Klaasje found it weird you came up with a plan so quickly.
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea.
She looks shaken. She wasn't surprised to be ratted out, but framed.
Oh, I'm shocked. Klaasje was not being truthful. Her idea.
Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone. She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck to fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the Hardy boys.
Klaasje knew exactly what she was doing. You can't remain calm under pressure otherwise.
That's bad that she'd be so calm.
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether to admire her or be disturbed.
Do you think she killed Ellie?
As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs. No gunshot, nothing.
Then what the fuck happened?
But even if this is true, weren't you worried this lynching might lead to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going, fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me.
Her grip on the gun is tight. Her arms toned. Her posture solid. Martinez lost a valuable defender.
Okay. Well, we're getting to the end of our potential additions to this check. If you didn't kill him, why hide?
I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent.
So this is what she was scared to tell Titus. This cop, that strange, distant fear is getting close now. It's a fear of
What do
yourself.
you mean?
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human can opener.
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the lieutenant mumble something to himself.
Thank God I have Mag on hand. Jeez, that was close.
Fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the white noise. It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Who's everyone? How do you know this?
Everyone in Jamrock. The cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death?
I'm so powerful. That's the only way to stop me.
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
What's my real name?
Harry Dubois.
Oh.
One corrupt motherfucker with the disco pants and a funny tie. Agent to la puta madre.
Did someone mention a fucked up tie? I call bullshit! You're too crazy!
Oh, yeah, I forgot I have the tie on.
So she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the take. Criminals make up bogeyman stories about cops all the time. I don't know. Sounds pretty convincing to me.
La puta madre, I've heard of them. He's dangerous, right?
Is that a joke or a threat? I'm guessing both.
No, that was a real question. I think this is the first time I'm hearing about it. Yeah, I lost my memory.
Yeah, sure.
No, for
I'm
real.
sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough.
What did you do to this madre anyways?
You've been to my lorry. You think the biggest player in Jamrock appreciates competition? And now I have Harry Can Opener in my lair.
So she thinks I'm on the take with, like, some drug lord.
She's not going to change her mind that easily. She's still perceived.
Well, maybe I am a threat.
Wait, one thing. Possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular?
Oh.
She might know something.
When I came into town, was there anyone with me?
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them
Who was
anyway?
in this squad?
Well, it wasn't this squad, dude. You had 2 guys and a lady. The guys looked pretty buff. Lady wasn't bad either.
What?
One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. The other had a brooding something or other about him. And the woman was the only one in uniform. All
So those
were
2
carrying-
shady agents in the whirling?
That sound about right?
Satellite Officer Vic Mayer looks out of the window grimly, then puts his coffee down and turns to Patrol Officer Minot. We can either take a room here in the whirling or go home for today. Let's go home, Jean. Nothing's going to happen today, she responds quietly. Jean takes his blonde wig off. Call Heidelstein. He can give us a ride.
What? So I came in with another team of people, and then Kim came along? This is blowing my mind. That doesn't ring any bells.
Well, this has been a great talk, really. But I think I'm going to hit the road now.
She means it. You better make your move soon.
Do you know about the bunker?
What bunker?
The communist hideout.
Don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. But I'm sure I'm not the first vagabond to...
Her voice trails off into white noise in your head. Feels like an aneurysm approaching.
You've got to act soon.
Shit.
This is getting bad. Keep calm. Breathe in. After the pain recedes, it's a little clearer.
Okay, thank goodness, because I am not good at being, like, manipulative or dishonest. It's just not in my, like, all of the skills I have of, like, communication and my powers of empathy and suggestion, they are not tuned to the frequency of, like, convince someone of something that's not true. They're the opposite. They're to convince people of stuff that is designed to help them change their perspective in a positive direction. So I'm not good at this. I don't know how to influence her other than to just be, like, straight up. Okay. We've nudged it during the drugs talk. We've had a momentary window of clarity. 92%er. It's got to be the one. Yes! Do some crazy shit, Harry. Let's go. She's not firing. Why isn't she stopping me?
You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell, but...
Oh, I gotta check in on Kim. You okay, Kim?
All good, officer. Be careful.
Oh, I do have the gun in my hand.
She looks at the machine, assessing the damage. Her hand trembles.
Oh, fuck it.
What? Oh, no! Oh, no! Why did I tell her about Tommy? Oh, that's the mistake that's gonna haunt me. Why did I do that? Oh, man. What did I just say? Being dishonest? Like, the only other option was to lie, and I'm just not good at that. Like, it comes back to that quote from Logic where it's like, if you can't predict it, then you couldn't have done anything about it. I could not have predicted that she would do this. So I can't go back and say, oh, I should have lied about Tommy. The only thing I can predict is that usually when you tell the truth, you don't have to like remember as much because you're just going off your memory, not like things you've made up. But I betrayed Tommy and I told her about it. Fuck. What are you doing?
Problem solving.
Ma'am, put the gun down. That's not the solution to your problems. You are...
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, no. Oh, no. My rhetoric is garbage. All right. No way!
She thinks she has no other options. You need to give her options.
Oh my god, okay, it's fucking therapy time. Let's go.
You know.
I do know this is where I can shine. Maybe I can still talk her out of it.
This is how you talk her out of it. It's the only scenario in which she lives.
Let's go. Okay. Please, just walk away.
She stares at you, frozen, the gun still in her mouth, eyes filled with dark intensity. Then something shifts in her.
Okay, we do need to get serious now and talk about why someone is in this position. Why they're considering this as an option. I'm a firm believer that when you look at someone in a situation like this, they did not start off this way. This was not her first option, right? This is her last option, which means like something has happened in the course of this person's life, and even in the course of the last couple of moments, that has put her in this mindset. That means that something can happen to bring her back from it, right? It's a very delicate thing. It is something that I have personal experience with, is talking to people who are in this frame of mind. One of the techniques that I have seen be effective, and it is very important to qualify like why you would say this to someone. And it's not exactly going to fit this scenario, right? Like, I've never been in this scenario where someone is like, we have an antagonistic relationship. I've been in a situation where I'm talking to someone who is having ideations, and I have been in situations where they are potentially within seconds of, you know, making that choice. But again, what we're seeing right here is very different than my experience, right? But one of the questions that you really have to be careful about why you're asking it, because it's kind of a motivational interviewing question, but it, if not delivered correctly, can sound and lead to the option that you don't want them to take, which is asking someone, why haven't you done this before? Or why haven't you done this already? Now, again, that can sound like you're provoking someone to do it, but it actually can have a very different effect, which is if they are someone like Ruby who has been willing to talk through her rationale, what you often find is that asking a question like that, why haven't you come to this place before? Why haven't you carried this out? You're basically compelling them to give a reason for why they haven't done it, right? I've asked that question before as someone is contemplating taking their life, and they'll say, well, I haven't done it before because there's people in my life who count on me, right? I haven't done it before because I guess there's still a part of me that thinks I could turn things around. Like, there's a difference between me saying that, me saying there are people that care about you, there are ways you can turn this around. That's like not as helpful as them verbalizing that, right? Their own self-discovery of those ideas. So it's a little bit of reverse psychology, I guess you could say. If not handled correctly, even if the tone of your voice is slightly wrong, and you're saying it like, well, why haven't you done it before? Then you're in a totally different conversation. That's provocation, right? You're asking in a very neutral, a very non-judgmental way, with the main point being curiosity. And whenever I'm asking a difficult question like that, I will usually prompt them with, can I ask you this question? Can I ask a question of you? Because when they say yes, I know that they're really listening. They know I'm asking permission, which is, a sign of interest, right? And respect. And so when that question comes, it does not feel antagonistic. It feels like curiosity. Why haven't you done this before? Again, qualify this in, like, maybe I've had other conversations with the person where I'm saying something like, you've brought up these ideations before. I'm curious, when you're in that headspace, why haven't you gone through with it, right? I would only ask this if the person is not immediately in that situation, right? Like, I'm thinking of a therapeutic environment where the ideations are present and, they're considering it, but I don't think that would be appropriate for this exact situation. But I wanted to throw that out there, that is a way that it can be handled therapeutically.
Gratitude, doubt. She's still ready to go.
You are trying to get them to self-empathize and also develop some, right, kind of in a sense, some rationale to dispute the belief that this cannot work out. If I were just going to go through this right now, the activating event is, I've been caught. My belief is, I'll be arrested and killed like Klaasje, right? The consequences of that are death anyways, and so I will take my own life. To dispute that would mean examining the evidence of this belief. Like, will being arrested really lead to something so horrific? We're trying to put her in that mindset, I guess. I don't really know. I don't know what we're about to do.
Her neck and shoulders relax, and her grip on the gun loosens.
Oh, okay. So that's the... We're helping her dispute this by saying, we're not taking you in, right? So activating event, I've been caught, beliefs, I'm going to be arrested, I'm going to die, consequences, might as well do it myself. Dispute that. I'm letting you go. Exchange these beliefs for more rational ones. I have another way out. You don't have to do this. You're not cornered. I'm letting you go.
Day of miracles. I'll take it.
She runs past you, then past the lieutenant, and disappears into the darkness of the tunnel.
Good call.
Yeah, I think so too. Rub your tongue. That's exactly what I was just doing. Damn, I am locked into this. I did my best. Yeah, I have to do this because I was just doing it.
I would have done the same had I not been incapacitated.
Okay, I am no longer worried about impressing Kim. I think this was the fucking clincher.
He couldn't take it like you. It irks him. Then he gets over it.
I think she didn't do it. I don't think that she did it. I don't think that she's being totally honest with us, and I worry about being in another situation with Klaasje where I was completely sold by her emotional unburdening. But like I said, I'm not a cop. I'm just a therapist. I usually assume good faith, even if that means I get it wrong sometimes.
Her tent. We should check it out.
What a fucking encounter. Okay. I'm putting the pistol away. I'm getting out my comfort Klaasje, which makes me feel safe and strong, not afraid of my own capability like the pistol does. Okay. This is where we're gonna pause it for now. I'm all healed up. We saved someone's life. We saved our own. And I think that everything that we've experienced thus far has been so essential to us doing that. Man, and I did that. Like, where's my fucking rhetoric at? There's no bonuses to it. I don't think I'm wearing anything that helps with rhetoric. Nothing. Saving someone's life with less than 50% rhetoric. And I could have had my polo shirt on and some other things probably. Damn. I thought that I had burned all my good luck in the beginning of the game by passing like 17 percenters, but you know, it wasn't meant to be. A tragedy wasn't meant to be this time in this playthrough. And I'm not going to second guess that. I'll just take the win. All right. That's the episode. I'll see you for the next part of the conclusion. Take care, everybody.